We are going through a pretty tough time financially. Everyone feels it. Inflation is going through the roof. Cost of living is going up exponentially. And we have to ask ourselves, where can we find some of the best financial advice? How can we get out of this and make some money and just make ends meet and maybe have enough money to buy some extra stuff, right? Where is a space that actually can come out and give us everything we need? And that is TikTok. TikTok investors, they are built a little different, and they have some of the best advice on the planet, right? So we are going to look at some TikToks and see how we can up our game. You know, it's very tough times out there right now, and we just want to get ahead of it a little bit. So TikTok is going to tell us what we got to do. All right, up first, money with Jacob. What do we have to do to get rich?
And the reason I bought it, I actually bought 3 of them. I got one for myself, one for my brother, and one for my dad. And the reason I bought it is because, one, it feels good to have a $700 pen, and two, most people don't have a $700 pen, and it just is a constant reminder to myself that I'm better than everyone, and that I am just a winner.
Oh. Of course. Of course. That's what we got to do. So step 1, get a $700 pen. It'll do the exact same things that a normal $5 pen will do, but comes with the added feature that now you are better than everyone else, and then other people don't have $700 pens, probably because it's not too smart to do that, but you can put yourself on the pedestal, and maybe that's enough to just mentally make you into a successful person, and just your ego explode, and now you're Mark Zuckerberg. So who knows? Maybe it all starts with this $700 pen. Up next, how to make $3 billion in 6 months. I would like to do that. I'll take $3 billion in half a year. Let's see how we make that money.
$3 billion within 6 months.
I'd take $100 million that I have, and I'd go to a big institution and say, hey, 10x on 100. That'll be a bill. They'll do that 100%. I'll take the bill, go buy $3 billion. $1 billion will buy $3 or $4 billion worth of real estate. We could do $4 billion this year.
I don't understand why you're thinking so small. I'm curious why you play so small when you have the opportunity. You just came up with the answer in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Why wait?
That's why I come here. I came here from a therapy session today. Thank you, Dr. Phil.
Grant Cardone might be just one of the biggest just talkers in the world. Nothing that he says almost ever makes any sense, and this is no exception. As much as I would love to be able to just go to the bank and give them 10 grand and say, give me 100K right now. Give me a loan on 100K, 10x this 10 grand. They're going to look at you and think that you're insane. Why would they ever do that? And that's exactly what they're going to look at him. If you take 100 million to the bank and say, give me $1 billion, they're not going to just say, oh my, yes, of course, sir. Of course we can 10x it for you. They're not going to do that. That's not how the banks work. That's not how real life works. And this encapsulates TikTok to a T, right? Like, it's just full of people who are just insanely, confidently wrong, right? They don't care what they're saying. All they want is your attention and likes on TikTok. So they'll say whatever, and maybe they'll make it sound like it's something, and it's actually nothing. All right, now this one is actually a good one. It still sums up TikTok in the way that it's just kind of a lot of fraud, but this one, it works, right? This one will work.
Your biggest expense in New York City is going to be food. And I got a way you could eat for free the best food. I'm going to love it. What you do, you stand in front of a nice building. People that work at nice buildings eat food. They order it. Delivery guys.
They do.
You act like you're on your phone. You know, hey, you say a bunch of big numbers. You know, I want the compound interest dividends. And when you see these delivery guys pull up, you give them that sign. And interest on it. And
that'll work, right? If you stand out in front of Goldman Sachs or something, and maybe people probably look at that if you're in front of like a big bank and not really care too much if you're taking the lunch off of one of them or a Wall Street banker, you know, but again, that would work. Is it morally great? Is it a little bit of just kind of scamming? Sure, but it will work. This is one piece of TikTok advice that would actually work. All right, next up, what are we doing? What are we learning?
And I booked an
Walking
appointment
into
with a mortgage
Nationwide.
broker. I've gone in there with a mortgage advisor who works at the bank. And I said, yeah, mate. I said, I need a mortgage. He said, well, what's your job? I said, don't have one.
What? He walked into a mortgage, I'm guessing broker, dealer or something, and asked for a mortgage without a job? Okay, okay, sure.
Just looked at me like mate, are you for real? Are you really
You
here
taking
to
the mick?
waste my time? But I had a pen and a pad, and I always carry a pen and a pad. But I was taking notes. I was like,
Always.
look, all right, so you're saying I need a job. Fine, no problem. I'll go and get one.
If you have to write down that you have to get a job to get approval for a loan, you might need to actually do a little more thinking before you go out and get that loan.
So what else? How can you help me get a mortgage? Since we're here, we might as well talk now because I've got an appointment with you. He said I can only lend 5 times your salary. I said no problem. Write a note, 5 times the salary. What else do I need? You know, so I've gone over. You need a solicitor. Blah blah blah. I've gone over all of the steps. So now I've walked into that bank not knowing how to get not knowing how to get a mortgage, but I've been able to come out of the bank with my notes, knowing everything I need to get a mortgage. And these are things they don't teach you in school. So it was like I had to go out into the world and get rejection to then find out how I can be accepted.
I guess that's something you can do. But you can also just use this crazy invention. It's super crazy. Kind of revolutionized the world, called the internet, and just Google, what do I need to do to get a mortgage? Because everything that you said in this video, in this thing, you could have just Googled. It's super surface level. I mean, you need a job. Google would have told you that, right? You probably need a job to pay for the loan. It's like, it's just insane what TikTok will do. This is what people do. They make it sound so in-depth and so intriguing. And they walked into the bank with a pen and paper and they asked the dealer, what do I have to do to get a mortgage? And I wrote down everything. When you could have skipped all of this and sat at your computer and Googled, what do I need to get a mortgage? And got all that information probably quicker and not have to waste somebody else's time. And we got this last one. I have to actually mute this because there's just a bunch of copyrighted music, so we'll see. But this guy, he's let's see, crashed his Chevy Cruze, and what do? We get a spark, I guess. I don't know. Saying the guy who crashed into that got an M3. We're really moving up here. It's I mean, I guess if you're all right committing fraud, right? This is what he's doing. This is literally what TikTok is just, or finance TikTok, is just committing fraud and trying to get away with it, which I guess is a great thing, right? Let's see what his last thing is after this i8. A Lambo, of course. But I guess, like, this strategy works. I guess you can commit fraud as long as you get away with it, then it works, right? The problem is if you don't get away with it, it all of a sudden becomes a big problem and you start to suffer big consequences. So that's basically what TikTok is. It's full of people who are either confidently wrong, simply promoting fraud, or literally making the most basic things sound like the most complex and intriguing ways of going about it when there's easier ways to do it. I think it is funny to look at TikTok and the finance stuff, and every once in a while just kind of see what's going on over there, because it is pretty crazy sometimes. But this is what we've got. I guess what we've learned is get a $700 pen, go to the bank and ask them to 10x the amount of money you give them, and then we can take food in front of office buildings in the city and we eat for free, and then we can just, you know, commit insurance fraud and upgrade our cars for free too. So that's all we got to do. That's all we got to do to put ourselves in a better financial situation. That's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.